Hello, welcome to another edition of The Toll Files here on Velenous TV. We're joined today by Timmy Duggan. Timmy coming back from South Carolina where, I don't know, man, was that a ride of a lifetime?
I think a lot of people maybe see it like that, but like for me, I've kind of been working towards that for a long time, and for me, I was just doing what I thought I was able to do, and I believed in myself, and just rode my bike, and that's what happened. So.
Okay, let's put it a different way then. Was that the best result you've had as an elite rider so far?
I think it probably was.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. When you take a look at the results and you see the names that are finishing behind you, that's some pretty heady stuff.
Right. I was the first one to finish, and nobody could beat my time, and even like Tyler Hamilton and Bobby Julich, they're Olympic medalists in the time trial, they weren't even close, and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, you were the third rider to start. And along the way, it was such an interesting day out there on so many different levels. But obviously, Saul Raisin was the first rider to take the start. Mm-hmm. What were your feelings when you realized you were going to catch and pass Saul out there?
When I saw him out on the course, like the one thing that went through my head was just, man, what has got to be going through Saul's head right now? Like, he's been working so hard, and it's been almost 2 years since his last race, and this is his life. This is what he loves, and I mean, the emotions that he's going through while he's riding his bike out in that race must just be really intense.
It's funny, even you saying that almost gives me goosebumps right now. I mean, it is an amazing sport as far as that kind of stuff goes. Mm-hmm. Did you say anything to him when you went by?
Not when I went by. I think I gave him a thumbs up.
Sure.
But after the finish, he was just so overcome with emotion, and it was really cool to see how much just the sport of cycling can mean to somebody. It kind of puts it in perspective for me. Yeah,
I think I put it in perspective for a lot of us out there. So we're talking about Timmy's third place finish at the U.S. Time Trial Championships. That's just going back a couple days ago in South Carolina as we sit here in Boulder on a Wednesday afternoon now. And, you know, I don't think it's any secret to you that I've been a pretty big fan of yours for a while. Were you listening to the commentary at all? After you finished, to hear how other times was comparing to yours?
Yeah, I was. And I went far away from the finish to get some recovery drink and everything. I didn't hear what's going on, but I didn't really think much of it, and I figured a couple of people would be coming in beating my time. And then when I kind of started feeling a little better, I went over the finish, and sure enough, my time was still holding up. And
by a lot.
Dave Toll's voice on the announcer was just storming out there saying, nobody can beat his time. And it started to get pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, and then, I mean, once you get down to the point where you realize it's pretty likely you're going to be on the podium, does it start to kind of sink in? Do you feel that flush come to you?
Yeah, well, just like the last few guys those are all the good guys coming in.
They're obviously seeded off of their ride last year.
Coming in at the end, and just everyone that comes in and that had a slower time, it's just like you get that much more excited each time. And then when Chris Baldwin came in, I knew I beat him, and there was only 2 people left that could beat me. I knew I was on the podium, and that was a pretty cool feeling. Yeah,
I can only imagine. And so then you got to back that up the next day with a really tough 110 miles on the road course.
Yeah, it's a tough course out there. You can't really hide, you can't fake it, just up and down.
So how were the legs feeling when you rolled to the start line?
I felt pretty strong. Yeah. Pretty strong. I don't know if I was capable of a Levi ride or anything, but I think I could do my job for the team, no problem that day.
When you look to the future, though, don't you start to realize that you are capable of that ride? It might be 2 years.
I think so someday. I mean, Levi's he has 9 or 10 years on me, so I've got a long ways to go, a lot of work to do, a lot of potential to see, I think.
So let's take a step back. You know, we were just talking with your teammate Blake Caldwell a little bit earlier, and this is a tough time for Slipstream Chipotle if you've been a fan of the team for the last few years. If you're just jumping on board right now, everything seems hunky-dory.
Right.
And, you know, it's really exciting to see these incredible names. I actually just realized Tyler Farah is coming over to the team now, and I think that's really exciting for American cycling to have him back, and names like David Miller and Magnus Backstedt. It goes on and on. But we're going to lose some guys along the way here, and these are some of the young Americans that have been working just as hard as you. They've been riding right next to you. They've probably been riding for you at times. You've been riding for them. And I find it tough. How about you?
No, for me, it's certainly a bittersweet moment.
I mean, to be honest now, Timmy is one of the riders that has made the cut from what was really a development team at one point to it became more than a development team when you brought along riders like Will Frischkorn, and you guys started looking to win some races, and now you're full on.
Right.
And we've lost a good 6 to 8 guys.
Right. I mean, it's certainly bittersweet. And I mean, I'm happy for myself, and I'm, on the path that I always thought I would be. I'm meeting my goals, but the really hard thing is, like this year on the team, we had 23 guys, and I consider every single one of them a good friend.
It shows the way you guys travel together. Yeah. Like I'm thinking back at the Hincappy party. You spent the entire party sitting with your friends at the table. You know what I mean? But these are your friends. These aren't just your work comrades.
Right. And after cycling's over, after the season's over, whatever, we'll still hang out with each other. Mm-hmm. No matter what happens in the sport of cycling, we're all very good friends.
Wouldn't this be a great time to start a U25 or a U27 program? I mean, I'm thinking of names, and I'm not sure how this is all going to play out, but I could put together in the back of my head a team of your friends that would be kick-ass.
Right.
I mean, Ian McGregor, Blake Caldwell, it goes on and on who we could find right now.
Yep.
Maybe we should get a team going.
I think so. I think it would be good. We could have a Boulder, Colorado all-star team.
I tell you, I think we do just okay. So let's go back a little bit, because I really remember you making your mark on the sport along with your buddy Ian McGregor. Mm-hmm. When you guys, let's be honest, I mean, we don't need to sugarcoat this for anyone. You guys weren't really, sleeping in a van would have been luxurious compared to what you guys were doing out there on the road.
Right.
What are we talking about, 2003?
2003 was probably that was our first
the
year
Dwayne
where we
Duggan Relax Paquetta year.
Yep. That was our first year where we both had some pretty significant results, and we both caught the eye of Jonathan Vaughters and got involved with the Tia Kref team, as it was at that time.
Right.
And I think it just took off from there.
Yeah, that had to have been one of those landmark moments along the way, though, getting that ride. Because let's say you didn't get that ride. We could have lost you from this sport, couldn't we? Right.
Well, looking back, you look back at the decisions you make, the teams you decide to ride for, the people you decide to associate with. And it's amazing the influence that one decision can have in your career. And so you really got to think hard when you make a big decision like that, because sometimes you shut doors and open other doors, and some of those doors don't ever open again. And you really have to be aware of that.
Well, and it's interesting because that team was just at the right place for you as far as, like, if you had signed with Saturn that year, you would have never raced.
Right. Well, I certainly don't deny that. I'm very fortunate to be who I am at. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I don't believe in luck. I think luck is preparation meets opportunity.
Sure.
And I feel like I've done the preparation, and I'm taking advantage of a very, very good opportunity.
Yeah, I was just going to slow you down for a second and say, Timmy, without all the hard work, being in the right place at the right time makes no difference if you're not out there busting your butt, riding your bike 400 miles a week.
Yeah.
And you've put in the work now. And now I think you realize what that workload is going to be for the next few years.
Right.
And it seems like you're embracing it.
Right. No, it feels like, for next year, I'm definitely, with myself and with the team, taking it up a notch. And I'm starting to feel like a true professional now. And I can go out and do my job and not think about how much it hurts or how much it's hard or the negative things, but just get done what I need to get done and focus on my goals and leave it at that.